Chapter 22. The Argument. The argument came on a Sunday night, and Ethan, who had engineered 1,000 small conversations in his second life, could only sit on the stairs and watch this one, the most important of them all, go the wrong way. He had not engineered it. Susan had started it herself, and that was the cruel hope of it, because for one evening it seemed that his mother might do what all his years of steering had failed to do. She did not like the Vance job. She could not have said why. She had no map, no foreknowledge, only the ordinary unease of a wife who had heard the stories about Vance's careless crews and bad sights and long, tired drives, and who did not want her husband out past the edge of the city on a winter road for a man like that. She said so. Quietly at first, over the dishes, and then less quietly. "I don't like it, David. I don't like that man. I don't like that road in the winter. And I don't like you driving back from out there in the dark when you're worn out. It's not worth it." And Ethan on the stairs with his heart going hard thought, yes. Yes. Listen to her. Please, this once, listen to her. But David Cole was tired and proud and pressed, and the argument went the way arguments go between two good people who are both, in their own way, right. And what's the alternative, Suze? There was no anger in it, only the weariness of a man with no good options. We're short. We're short this month and will be shorter next month. And I'm not going to sit here warm and watch you do the math at this table every night with that look on your face. Vance pays quick. The job's good money. I take it we get through the winter, and in the spring there's better work. That's all it is. A winter job. Vance's crews. I don't work for his crews, I work for me. I'm careful. You know I'm careful. He softened, crossing to her, and his big, careful hands came up to her shoulders. Hey. Bleed away from the work, right? My old man's rule. I've been doing this 20 years, and I've still got all 10 fingers. I'll take the job, I'll be careful, and I'll come home every night. I promise. Don't promise that, Ethan thought from the stairs, with a despair so cold it frightened him. Don't promise that. You can't keep it. I know you can't keep it. And he saw the argument tipping, saw his mother's unease meeting his father's tired pride and his father's tired pride winning, the way it had to, because David was not wrong either. They were short. The winter was hard. The money was real. And there was no fact Susan had that could outweigh the cold arithmetic of a family that needed paying. Her unease was only a feeling. Ethan's certainty was only a secret. And against the hard present need for money, a feeling and a secret weighed nothing at all. He tried. Of course he tried. He could not sit on the stairs and watch his father promise to come home and do nothing. He used the only tools a 7-year-old owned, the tools he had spent years sharpening. He came down the stairs in his pajamas, rubbing his eyes, and went to his father, and did the thing the household had learned to heed. He fussed. He clung. He turned his small, wary instinct hard against the Vance job in every wordless way he could. Don't go, Daddy. I don't want you to go. The far road is bad. I had a bad dream about the far road. He pushed it as far as he dared, right to the edge of the second rule, every cell of him straining to be, one more time, the weather vane the family trusted. And for a moment it landed. He saw it land, saw his mother's eyes flick to him, saw the old reflex stir, listen when Ethan fusses, saw the argument waver. But then David laughed gently and scooped him up, and the moment passed. Because a child's bad dream was one thing when it was a teapot or a toaster or a bad man at the door. Small things, near things, things a fuss could plausibly be about. A child's bad dream could not cancel a winter's wages. David held his clinging son and rubbed his back and said, Hey, it's okay, bud, it's just a job, Daddy's just going to work like always. I'll be home for dinner every night, you'll see. And tucked the fear away as exactly what it looked like, a worried boy in a hard winter, and did not change his mind at all. The tools had a limit. Ethan found it that night. A fuss could bend a moment. It could not outweigh a man's pride and a family's need together. He had reached the end of what steering could do, and steering had not been enough. The job was taken. David would start out past the edge of the city within the week. Ethan lay awake that night past the point of despair and out the other side, into the cold, clear place where the second life had taught him to go when feeling was useless and only planning remained. The soft road had failed. Years of steering, a winter of fussing, an argument that had wavered and held, all of it had failed, and his father was bound for the Vance job and the development and the two-lane road, and no nudge, no preference, no bad dream was going to undo it now. The river had won the long game. David was going to be out there, on that road, in the winter dark, on the mornings the map most feared. So Ethan let go of the soft road entirely, and turned, coldly, to the hard one. If he could not steer his father away from the fatal job, then he would attack the job directly, physically, with whatever a 7-year-old could reach. He would learn the schedule, the site, the route, the exact mornings David drove that road. He would find the day. And he would build, between now and then, every defense a child could build against 4 blurred seconds on a wet road. And if it came to the last instant, to the breaking of the second rule, to standing in the gap himself with the only real power he had, then so be it. Rule 5 governed all the others. The people came first. He had 3 weeks, perhaps less, before his father started the Vance job. He stopped grieving the failed argument before the night was out, and began, in the cold, clear place, to plan the hardest thing he had ever attempted in either of his lives. How a 7-year-old boy was going to reach out across the coming winter and pull his father, by force if he had to, off the road that had already killed him once.